Welcome back as we continue. The Pirates won today 9-4 after losing big in the first two games. So they're 1-2, play again in St. Louis, and then a home opener here on Tuesday against the Cubs. But they do it with a man signed for the next 8 years. It's the longest contract, the richest contract, which says a lot about the franchise, I think, Mark. This is it. I mean, Jason Kendall's contract has stood since the year 2000, 22 years later. It took that long to get a guy 8 years, $70 million. Is that one that Brian Hayes may look back on and say, I shouldn't have signed it?
Yeah, I mean, somebody please explain this one to me. A guy who's supposed to be the cornerstone of your franchise for years to come is getting paid like a middle line reliever right now, like a mid-level third baseman right now. It looks good right now. I hate to talk about a guy's financial situation because I don't know how much he needs the money or what's going on with him. But come on, if he waits 2 or 3 years, he could probably absolutely break the bank here. So if the Pirates approached him with this and he said yes, the Pirates, I mean, nothing. He is not going to throw out a lot of money, but he's thinking, wow, I'm getting a really good deal for this. I just can't see any sense for why Brian Hayes made this deal. It might not matter in 3 years. Maybe he'll be easier to trade because he has less of the money. Maybe that's what it is. But right now, it's just mind-boggling to me that he would accept this deal.
But it is guaranteed money, Paul. So no matter what happens, he's going to get it.
What is the opposite of betting on yourself? Whatever the opposite of betting on yourself is, that's what Brian Hayes just did. This is a guy who basically said, I'm going to get this bag of $70 million, even though if I wait a few years and I play like I think, people think I'm supposed to play and I get better and I become, a guy who's even, a reasonably good hitter, I will break the bank in 3 years from now. I figured it out the other day. Based on what third basemen are making, and I didn't take them all the way to the top, but based on what the top 10 third basemen are making, this deal literally over the next 8 years could cost him as much as like $70 or $80 million. So, I mean, more power to him. He got his money. More power to the Pirates because they somehow found a way to get a guy to take a real team-friendly deal. And I know people say, well, didn't work out with Polanco, didn't work out with Marte, but it worked out with McCutchen, but even McCutchen left himself. I mean, this guy will be 33 years old when this thing is over. When this contract's over, you'll be 33, 34 years old. I mean, I don't understand it from his side. I understand it from the Pirates side. It's an unbelievable deal.
Well, McCutchen was younger, 6 years, $51 million.
Right.
And then Marte, $31 million, Tabata, $31 million. You can deal with those even if they don't work out. And you could deal with this if it doesn't work out. So, Mark, again, quicker answers here before we go to break here. I want to ask you guys how you would define this season for the Pirates. For me, it's not about wins and losses. For me, it's about how many of these pieces can actually turn into core pieces of their franchise. Guys they can count on moving forward because, to me, you need more than 2 or 3. You need about 5 or 6. Can they answer that question, Mark?
The thing is I don't think any of them is going to be up here for us to really notice, right? Who's on this current roster right now, other than maybe Reynolds or Hayes, that you're going to look toward the future? Unless they're going to bring somebody up from the minors. And we know the Super 2 situation only apparently applies to the Pirates because there's about 6 teams around the league right now who are bringing up 19, 20-year-olds who are playing right away here who aren't very good teams either. So, It's really difficult to watch right now, Bob, because there's just nothing there that excites you. Even if they need to bring these guys up, let's see what they can do on the major league level, even if it is June or July. I need to see that. Until then, it's going to be a tough watch.
Everything you need to know about this Pirates season and what's really important and big is the fact that probably the most important development of the weekend was that O'Neal Cruz was put in the outfield in AAA this weekend. So a AAA guy moving positions is probably the biggest news other than Hayes signing that's something that is actually tangible and reasonable to watch, and it has really nothing to do with the major league team right now. It will down the road. Roansy Contreras obviously is a guy. Hopefully, he figures, he shows that he can be what they think he can be. I'm tired of the whole Mitch Keller thing already. It's just you get to a point where it's just not going to happen for a guy, and it seems like we're at that point. He seems like at best his ceiling is a 3 or 4, in a rotation kind of guy. There's not much else right now on the major league roster to get all that excited about. Diego Castillo, I guess, is an interesting guy. It's the reality of what the Pirates are until some of these guys start coming up, or at least really start heating up in AAA. I'm just not sure what this season's about.
When we come back, there is a new Masters champion. We'll talk about one of the most unceremonious #1 ranked players in the world, Scottie Scheffler. Nobody was talking about him going into this tournament. They are now. Next.